From peaceful mountain towns to bustling metropolitan areas to small farming communities, Georgia is a great place to live and work and raise a family. Across the state, the places we call home have their own distinctive characteristics, each as unique and interesting as the people who live there. But as much as we appreciate the differences in our communities, there's one thing we expect all of them to have in common. We want them to offer us a good quality of life. And for that, we rely in large part on our local governments. From strong public schools to job opportunities. From reliable public safety to well-maintained roads and bridges. From facilities like libraries and public health centers to diverse recreational opportunities. Counties, cities, and schools around Georgia provide the services that keep our communities safe, clean, comfortable, and prosperous. The role of local governments is to provide services that enhance the quality of life and protect the health and safety of citizens. But how do we pay for all these services? In large part, it's through our property taxes. Local governments, our counties, cities, and schools, use these taxes to finance services that add value to our property. Things like fire protection and law enforcement, parks and land use planning and zoning, sidewalks and storm drainage systems, the construction and maintenance of infrastructure like roads and bridges, and trash collection and animal control. Across the state, property taxes represent the largest local source of revenue for local governments.
So I need to pay my property taxes. Okay.
It's through our property taxes that we have local control over the services we use on a daily basis, things that directly affect our quality of life. But what does it mean for you and me? What value do we really get for our tax dollars? While individual bills vary, on average, a Georgia family pays a little more than $1,500 a year in all county, city, and school property taxes. Of that $1,500, what they pay to support roads maintenance for a year is about the cost of a couple of oil changes. Their contribution for library services, it's less than what you'd spend on one hardback book. What they pay for the county health department, about the cost of a bottle of cough syrup. And their share of courts and jails for a year, it's what they spend for 3 months of a private home security system. Across the state, every county operates in its own way. So the amount you pay and the benefits you receive depend on which county you live in. Some services, including courts and jails, emergency management and vital records archives for birth and death certificates and marriage licenses, are required by state law. Every county must provide these. Others, like libraries or parks, are discretionary. They are the ones we as citizens want in our communities, but not necessarily something the county is required to provide. But how do we know we're getting what we pay for? And how do we know that what we're paying is fair? For most of us, our home is our most important asset, and it's the most expensive investment we'll ever make. So the property taxes we pay, in essence, they're an insurance policy on our investment, because they pay for the county's services that help protect our property. Every property tax bill reflects several different components. In addition to our county taxes, if we live in a city, we may pay city taxes as well. We're also billed for schools, which represent the largest portion of the property tax bill, as much as 2/3 of the total amount. When our county commission, city council, and school board adopt these budgets each year, they take into consideration requests and recommendations from citizens, as well as expenditures required by the state or federal governments.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Then they estimate how much can be raised from sources like sales taxes, business taxes, and user fees. The remainder of the budget comes from property taxes. To calculate the tax rate, the percentage that will be charged, the amount needed from property taxes, is divided by the total value of all taxable property in the county. This total value, also known as the County Tax Digest, includes not just homes, but businesses, apartments, industrial property, and farmland as well. The tax rate, that is the percentage we pay, is stated in terms of mills, with a mill equal to $1 per $1,000 of assessed property value. For tax purposes, state law requires property to be assessed at 40% of its fair market value. So, if your home is worth $100,000, its assessed value is $40,000. This is the value used to calculate your property taxes. But other factors affect what you're charged. There are various exemptions that can be deducted from the $40,000. For example, the state general homestead exemption, some local homestead exemptions, and exemptions for people over the age 62 and for disabled veterans. So to calculate your total taxable assessed value, you first subtract the exemptions from your home's $40,000 value. Let's say you qualify for a $5,000 homestead exemption, and you're eligible for a $1,000 exemption because you're 62 or older. Now, deduct these amounts, and the value you're taxed on comes to $34,000. Then, to determine how much you owe, you multiply the assessed value of your property by the millage rates set by the county, school board, and city. So, who are the players in the tax process? The Georgia Constitution requires that all property be valued in a uniform manner. And the Georgia legislature enacts property tax laws that determine which properties are taxed and which are exempt. Your Board of Tax Assessors is required by law to value your property at its current market value. To do this, the board hires a state-trained appraisal staff. The state enforces the requirement that appraisals be kept at market value by levying a fine on counties that don't keep property values current. Your county commissioners administer the property tax system in your county, but they have no role in appraising, billing, or collecting property taxes. The County Board of Tax Assessors and the Tax Commissioner carry out those functions independently of the county commissioners. The Tax Commissioner, an official you elect, sends you your tax bill and collects taxes. He or she then distributes the money to the school board, county government, and city governments. But what if you think your contribution in local property taxes is unfair? What recourse do you have? Well, first, make sure you review your annual property assessment notice as soon as you receive it. This notice is distributed in late spring to early summer, and you have 45 days from the time you receive it to exercise your right to appeal. Your first step is to appeal to your local Board of Assessors. If your concerns are not satisfied at this level, there are a number of options for furthering your appeal up to and including filing a complaint in Superior Court. Your assessment notice provides a list of your options for appeal. It also includes an estimate of your property taxes that you will owe at the end of the year. If you have concerns about the millage rate, contact the county commissioners, school board, or city officials who adopted the budget that led to the millage rate. You may also get many of your questions answered by looking on your county's website. Tax bills are distributed towards the end of the year. This is not the time to appeal your property's value. That must be done when the assessment notice is received. However, if you think there are errors in your tax bill, or if you have a question about your bill, you should contact the Tax Commissioner's office. As Georgia's population continues to grow, our counties, cities, and school boards are required to provide more services for more people. Governments are called on to do more with less. So in the end, it's really a matter of balance. If we feel that our property taxes are too high, we're unhappy. But if they're too low, we don't receive the services that support the quality of life we all desire. Schools, law enforcement, ambulance service, fire protection, emergency management, garbage collection and disposal, road construction and maintenance, public transportation, water treatment and water supply, stormwater and sewage systems, animal control, public health centers, libraries, archives, parks and recreational facilities. The list of services our counties deliver goes on and on. Not every citizen in every county will use all the services the county offers. But all of them, like our courts and jails or recreation facilities and infrastructure development, help shape the identity of our communities and help create a sense of place that lets us know this is where we belong. So whether you live in a big city or a small town, whether you're in the mountains of North Georgia or in the rural areas of the South, the next time you pay your property taxes, think about all the benefits they provide. They're an investment you make in your home, your neighborhood, your community. And they are an investment that pays off day after day, year after year, by protecting the things that are most important to you: your home, your family, and your quality of life. For more information, visit us at factsaboutpropertytax.com.